Welcome to Indian News. Our guest today is Ramesh Kapur, who has been here several times in our studio. I know we are going to talk about possible 47th President of the United States. And he is coming to your home for a fundraising next month. Before we get into that, let us first talk about the debate, presidential debate on CNN between President Biden and former President Trump on Thursday. What do you expect that? What is going to happen there?
My sense is, what Trump folks have done is that they've really lowered the bar for Biden. All right, I think.
Although they're going to change, they're trying to change that now.
Yeah, but the narrative is already there. Okay, they've been doing it for a while. Okay, and all debates are expectation. Okay, if you beat the expectation, that's it. That means you have won. Everybody, joins the crowd. And my sense is that's what's going to happen. Also, what happens is that, if Biden is rested up, okay, I've seen his schedule. I'll tell you, even the amount of money that is going around raising money all over the country. I remember one of the fundraisers, he was in the G7 and he flew directly for a fundraiser in New York. All right. So his travels are he's spending a lot of energy, a lot of time raising money. Even Obama would be tired, the amount of money, amount of travels that he's doing. And I think as long as he's relaxed in terms of gets enough sleep, he gets he always overperforms. Same thing in the State of the Union.
That was fantastic.
It was because he was relaxed. Okay? And I have seen him, when he's on top of his game. All right. So that's what they will do. That itself will help him, and also the expectation game. Okay. I think the people will the press will look at it, and all Biden has to show up, and they'll say that.
So
Not unfortunately for everybody, but fortunately for us, because I'm a Democrat, I think Trump is a loose cannon. Okay, that's his DNA.
Sure.
And he will, whichever way he tries it, he's going to go back to the basics. All right.
I'll have some more questions about the debate, but before that, since you mentioned you are a long-term Democrat, but some of our viewers who may not be familiar, I just want to say that Ramesh Kapur has been a veteran from Democratic Party. I don't know for how many years you have been.
Since 1980.
1980.
And 86 nationally.
Okay. And now also this time he is a member of the Biden Victory Fund as well. And he has done fundraising for virtually every major Democrat you can think of in the United States, from Ted Kennedy to John Kerry to Biden to
Mike Dukakis,
everyone. Yeah, sure. So now coming back to the debate, what are the three things Biden must do in the debate?
It's of course he has to. Make sure that the nation understands what the risks are with
Trump.
With Trump, all right. Also, he has to stress that the economy is improving. Okay, the inflation is coming down. It will improve some more. All right. And then, also the foreign policy with all the problems that are happening in the world, Biden, with his experience, will do the best job than Trump.
Oh, what about immigration? That's
immigration is. I think my sense is I think people are making a big thing about it, more about immigration than what it is, because Biden has already basically reduce the numbers of folks that are coming. I think it's immigration is just a basic red herring, as they call it.
Actually, today I was listening in the news that the immigration has already dropped by 40%.
Correct. It has dropped, and then also
illegal immigration. I mean.
Yeah, and also, of course, what Biden has to bring up that he wanted to do it. The bipartisan Senate had agreed to it, and then Trump, for political reasons, got the House not to go along with it. So some of this policy would have been done permanently.
So now, what Trump has to do? Is there any possibility that he can beat Biden in the debate, if it is possible? And to make that possible, what he has to do, what he must do?
I don't think so. I think he to beat Biden, you have to be knowledgeable. All right. And it's not Trump's personality to be knowledgeable. You can go with one point and call names, other things for a certain point. It's good. It's entertainment. All right. But it is very difficult for him. When he has 34, felony cases against him by a jury, unanimous jury.
Sure.
It is very tough to how do you get out of it? How can you change that? You cannot change it. And there are some other cases that are coming up maybe after the election. But initially, the first time when he got elected, I had predicted I did a fundraiser for Kamala Harris in the Senate, when she ran for the Senate in my house. And in January of that year, I had predicted that Trump would be the next president, which I mentioned that year.
Sure. Yeah.
And because you see the wave going, the wave goes.
So now, almost before every election, we have our conversation,
right.
And I always ask you your prediction, and generally you have been always right.
Yeah.
So, what is your prediction for 2024?
So my prediction is Biden is going to be Kamala Harris will be re-elected. The reason is that you have to look at the macro levels. The macro level is that if a sitting if the inflation is lower than the payroll rate, no sitting president has ever lost, and that's what it is happening now. The inflation is coming down, and the salaries are going up. That delta, that ratio is much higher. So that's the basic part of it. And then the other thing is, his conviction and his loose cannon, Trump's erratic nature. So that's the advantage that sitting presidents have.
Okay.
Right?
So now, suppose worst case scenario, suppose if Trump wins, what is going to happen?
I think it's going to be chaos as usual, like it was. People were tired of his antics, all right?
Name calling, antiques,
and then of course, making money.
Sure.
His
Not
family
making money. No. This guy is a terrible businessman. Absolutely,
Yeah, but because of the name,
sure.
he's making money like Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, sure.
There is certain percentage of people that for whatever reason, sometimes what happens is that Americans a lot of Americans do not want the truth. They want to be entertained. And he gives them entertainment.
Okay. So now, Ramesh,
and on the House side, my prediction is
that's what I was coming to the House. Yeah,
we will take the House. All right.
Although I think that's what I'm hearing as well. What about the Senate?
Okay, the Senate is going to be tied. Okay, we have a problem with one vote. Definitely, we have lost. That's in West Virginia. The governor is running. The West Virginia is gone. The other one is Maryland. Governor Hogan is running for Senate now.
Also, former governor.
Former governor.
And popular governor.
And a popular governor.
Sure.
But my sense is that the person that's running against. She's a strong candidate, and I just saw the polls recently that she's already started to lead by 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 10 points starting at this point for a popular governor. I don't think we have a sitting Democratic governor now. That the party is there. And also the problem is that, I don't think the Democrats want to give away the Senate to the Republicans. And in case Trump wins, all right, the Democrats will be in a worse situation. So we will end up have a black woman as a senator now. And she's tough. She's tough.
From Maryland.
From Maryland.
Sure.
Okay.
So now, another question for you is, after the election, November, everybody started talking about 2028. And you are already started talking about 2028. And one eye is definitely on Gavin Newsom, Governor of California.
Correct.
Actually, a lot of people are expecting that he might run even this year. But in 2028, he's seems like a good, very promising candidate for the Democratic Party. And you are inviting him to your home for a fundraising next month on July 7th.
Correct.
So tell us about the fundraising, when, how, and how people can participate in that. And then what is your take on him and why Governor Newsom?
Correct. Well, the fundraiser is on July the 7th, which is a Sunday in the evening at my house in Winchester. And my cell number is 781-883-0954. You can call me about it if you're interested. And it's small money for high profile like Governor Newsom. It's only $1,000 to participate, and if you want to be a co-host, it's $5,000. And that's one. And of course, in person, I think he is very charismatic. All right, and charisma and looks and height are very important in presidential election. Right? Okay, it's always that's the key part. I don't think no president has been less than 5'10" has been the president recent times because of the way the
and especially these days with the cameras everywhere. So
correct, with the camera there. So in person he's about 10 times more charismatic because I did an event in California with him, and the reason I did that is because. He has done something I've been doing since 1980 and 86. He has done with a stroke of pen of vetoing the caste bill, okay, has done more for our community than any other politicians that I know at the present time.
So Ramesh, just to paraphrase this question again, this is good. I'm glad you bring this topic. So the caste politics are, it turned out to be a big issue in California. And the governor played an important role in that bill, which was passed by the local Congress. And you also had to do something with that. So can you share that story?
Correct. So I met him in Chicago. We were all big donors were having the DNC meeting, and all these folks were coming to pitch because they're running for presidency. They want to support. And I talked to him. I said, look, you should veto this caste bill. And he said, it was passed by large numbers in California. I said, I know that. And that's why I want you to veto it, okay? And he was listening to it, and then we communicated. I had his private email, we communicated. I think one of the things that helped me is that I said this, 80% of the population, now I knew he was running for the presidency, okay? So I said, 80% of the population of India is Hindus. Okay, what message you going to send to the leaders in India if you do not veto this? And I think he was looking at some international future things other than just locally in California because he was worried. And he texted me that 3 hours before he texted, I'm going to veto it. Watch my back. All right. So when he said, and that's what we have to do, is that when somebody has done for our community, where it's taking a risk like that, we have to then show our gratitude. Other than just votes, we have to show by financial thing too. And that's why I did a California fundraiser, and that's why I'm doing one in my house over here. And that's the main reason is we have to put, because if that caste bill would have passed, okay. Now, of course, if there's any discrimination or anything in caste, I think we have laws over here that can go against it. But what that bill would have done is painted everybody. We would have painted our kids. They would have bullied in school as castes. They would have. Publicly, my family is Arya Samajis. We don't believe in publicly. We don't believe in caste system. Okay, we would have been targeted. Okay, you would have been targeted. And I'll tell you, we really saved the bullet on this. So I've been doing, U.S. India relations since '86. Okay, and we've evolved. It has really been progressed to what it is. That was my passion. But let me tell you something. Okay, and press has asked me that. They've asked me, what is more important, the caste bill or the civil nuclear deal? I said the caste bill, because this would have affected us, every one of us would have affected our kids, our grandkids in this country. Okay, so that was so important, and this is what he did for us, and we have to show, other than lip service, to show more support.
So Ramesh, after he vetoed it, and actually at least I was expecting there is going to be a lot of reaction, negative reaction and protest, but really nothing happened after that. Or was there some?
Well, there was some in the legislature. There was some. First of all, it was a wrong thing. It was a wrong thing to pass anyway. I think people realize that more. But sometimes what happens is that certain people get involved in there, and of course, the Indian Americans in California were not active politically. I would never let something like this happen in Massachusetts. Okay?
Sure.
But they let it happen. And by the time, and even a couple of congressmen, they couldn't stop it. All right.
So, Ramesh, before I let you go, I must ask you about what you think about elections in India.
Well,
and their impact on the India-US relations.
I think the relationship will improve more, because there is a certain section of the party is because of the so verbal with the Muslims thing, and sometimes what happens is the same thing. Like same thing is at the end of the day. It's like Trump when he throws all this thing, immigrants. He keeps chasing immigrants and everything. He keeps bringing that up, calling them names and everything. I think the BJP overreached, all right, because there were already signs in the South when they started to use this Hindu thing, us against them. More, they lost the state. They should resign. And then when later on they said that were still that went in, and India, there was a resentment, okay, in that. It was just
so do you think
the overreach.
The Modi and his team have learned their lesson?
I think so. I think so. But remember, at the end of the day, they're all politicians, okay?
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Whether it's over here or there.
Absolutely.
Okay? And if they don't learn, they will be out of office. Okay? And I think they have learned. But politicians always overreach, whether it's over here or in India or any democracy, they overreach. And I think they have reached. But in terms of the Progressive Party over here, there won't be any anti-India or anti-Modi thing as much like it was. 52%, 52 state. When Modi visited over here, 52 congressmen and senators in the Democratic Party, wrote a dear letter. And it was terrible because they were at their own president Biden invited this person.
Sure.
They could have criticized him, later or before, but they criticized. Obama also opened his damn mouth, okay, criticizing the sitting president, and that's what I have against. I have nothing against criticism. What I had against them is that they criticized their own president who had invited this, right? So that will change more. My job will become a little easier, is the thing. But as long as this president is there, Biden, India, he has realized that India is critical to the United States national security. He has publicly said that, and that will be there. That will be there. And I guess I'm sure the BJP will realize. And at the end of the day, I said that, and I've said that in articles. Muslims are patriots also in India.
Sure,
they're patriots.
Sure,
okay?
Absolutely.
All right. And what happened is, my sense is when you go too far, and some name calling was done too. Okay, then you have a at the end of the day, also, India is with so many religions, so many languages, so many food, so many things. You cannot be autocratic. Okay, you can do it to a certain point to get things done, but once the populace realizes that you're going a little too far, the pendulum will swing this way. And
we always say in every election, in many countries that voters are very smart, but we do have to give special credit to Indian voters. They are absolutely fantastic. They know exactly what they are doing.
The grassroots, yeah. I've said that a long time, always said that.
Yeah.
The Indian voter is much more than the American voter.
Absolutely. No doubt.
They really understand that core, and that comes with the culture. The Hinduism or the culture itself is for thousands of years.
Just think about that. In Ayodhya, on the basis of which Modi declared election, the BJP lost there.
Sure.
And in all surrounding constituencies as well.
Sure.
So it's of course, the kudos to Indian voters. And Ramesh, on that note, thank you very much for coming. And
thank you, Pindan. And again, last thing, folks, July 7th, in the evening, meet. Bring your spouses. They will get charged up too. Okay, this guy has got charisma. He's like Jack Kennedy, much taller than Jack Kennedy, and he's got all the ingredients. Okay, and I think he will make a great 47th president. Remember, India got the independence in 1947, so it's a lucky number.
Okay, excellent. On that again, thank you again, Sir Ramesh.
Thanks,